Hello, everyone. My name is Gül, and I'm from University of Portsmouth, School of Business and Law, Portsmouth, United Kingdom. I'm a lecturer at Sustainable Business Management. My academic research focuses on sustainable fashion and innovation, and I also do research in various technologies and new media network. So if you're interested in any of those, then please contact me. Today I'll be presenting the findings I reached during my PhD, but from a different perspective, because when I looked at my PhD data with a different angle, I realized that there is a different meaning in all those qualitative answers. Like some very interesting themes emerged compared to what I was looking for in my dissertation, in my previous publications. And I realized that when I was revising a journal article, my previous PhD project focused on developing a label system to increase sustainability awareness and literacy of fashion consumers. For this project, I developed 5 sub-criteria of sustainability because I realized that, especially from consumer perspective, there's no one definition of sustainability. So depending on their background and information needs, they seek different informations under sustainability or it has different meanings to them. And then based on this, considering diverse backgrounds of consumer profile, I developed 4 consumer personas to address different information needs and different requirements and expectations and challenges. And based on that, I developed 3 prototypes of label system. But the information I collected to reach those outcomes, those findings, were actually indicating a kind of different narration in comparison of consumer and industry. The emotions they defined in the responses were different. The keywords they used were different, like keywords industry and consumer use was different. Their motivations, the barriers they face, the challenges they face, and their complaints and expectations from the industry or from sustainable fashion were different. So they also gave different advice and recommendations. So when I looked at it from a new perspective, explaining methodology here, I conducted 6 focus group sessions with six people in each section. At the end of my first year, the pandemic started, so I transformed everything to digital conditions. So I was having sometimes night focus groups with people who were bored at home during pandemic. So it was kind of socialization for them as well. So they were really open about their opinions and their expectations. So 6 focus group sessions with 6 people at each. These were consumers, fashion consumers. Then I had 25 usability tests throughout the process while I was testing the prototypes. These were also fashion consumers. And then at the end of the project, I had 10 expert interviews. These were fashion professionals. This can't be able to my updated person. And then I had 3 design workshops. This was combined with fashion professionals and consumers. And the 3 conference workshops, mostly 2 of them were done at Global Fashion Conference previous years. This was with industry professionals. So this background actually emerged a very significant difference in the way they look at sustainable fashion and the way they look at sustainable fashion consumption, fashion product, and what they expect from the industry. So there were 6 main key differences, key themes emerged in the findings. First one was the emotional differences. While consumers were defining their experience related to sustainability and sustainable fashion products, they defined their positive emotions as self-satisfaction, peace of mind, and self-efficacy. And conversely, they define negative emotions and negative experiences related to sustainable fashion as disbelief, mistrust, and guilt. And when you look at the industry professionals, how they relate themselves to sustainable fashion, to sustainable products, their fashion products, they highlight emotions as frustrations, when their efforts are misunderstood by and misperceived by the consumers, and they feel confident. They define confidence as an emotion when they adhere to sustainable standards successfully. And second key theme emerged was divergence in their keywords they use. Consumers frequently use keywords as trust, confusion to define sustainability information they receive from industry and brands. And industry professionals define sustainable communication as with keywords with transparency, traceability, and impact reduction. So there is again a kind of technical versus emotional kind of keyword choices regarding sustainable fashion and sustainable fashion products. This divergence results in different interpretations of what constitutes sustainability and making it challenging to create a unified narrative between consumers and industry. And this misalignment of emotions and keywords create barriers in fostering shared goals and mutual understanding of sustainability for all of us, for all stakeholders. And therefore, in the next slide, I'll continue with motivations. Motivation creates a misalignment in language and tone of voice as well. In case of motivational misalignments, consumers are primed to choose sustainable fashion products or to incline at sustainable fashion behavior. They are motivated by personal or emotional benefits, as health, emotional satisfaction, like the feeling built about belonging to a greater cause, kind of emotion, and belonging to a community of aware, sustainability literate people, kind of community. But for industry professionals, motivations revolve around regulatory compliance, brand reputation, and aligning with market trends. So this misalignment on motivation also creates a big gap to encourage consumers to incline to more sustainable behavior and to choose sustainable, transparent, as in the case of Zara or H&M. Challenges was the fourth theme appeared. Consumer side confusion about sustainable terminology used in brands communication, like H&M's conscious, Zara's joy in life kind of tags and sub-product categories. Different tags and collection names used for sustainable fashion products or technical terms like B Corp certified kind of tags make it confuses consumers, and that remains very vague to consumer. Therefore, it causes lack of trust. And in contrast, industry professionals struggle mention that although there is effort to be transparent and accessible, there is consumer skepticism on those communications. So that's frustrating for the industry. And from the operational aspect, brand professionals' biggest challenge are high operational costs and industry's internal misalignment on sustainability objectives and sustainability criteria. Fifth emerging theme on difference was complaints and expectations. Consumers criticize lack of transparency and overuse of vague language in industry's sustainability communication, as I also mentioned in the previous one. But to address this, they call for straightforward, emotionally resonant, entertaining, engaging, and authentic messaging. These keywords are specifically highlighted, and they are specific adjectives consumers prefer to define the characteristics of sustainable fashion communication and sustainable fashion. On the other hand, industry professionals express a desire for consumer education, as we also discussed many times in the presentations here, and that they don't take the responsibility fully, and they leave consumer education's responsibility of consumer education to third parties like NGOs and governments. Although consumers think that this is mostly brands' responsibility to not only third parties to educate themselves, educate consumers in an engaging, entertaining, and not technical way. And the last thing was advice and recommendations. Consumers' advice, when you ask about them, they're always full of advices. They they really value their opinions much, which is of course it's true. Consumers' advice to industry is to simplify messaging, address diverse consumer needs. That's also mostly ignored by the industry because they mostly use one-size-fits-all communication strategies, and they desire tangible examples. Like if you choose this product, you say 3-liter water, or like you say 5 families helped by blah blah kind of to the point messages. And they, of course, ask companies brands to greenwash, to avoid greenwash. And industry professionals recommend the standardization of sustainables, creating holistic narratives that capture entire life cycle. These are final notes. Well, these findings contribute to existing research by highlighting the disconnect between industry and the consumer. And disconnect on their perception and their language, the language they use. It provides a framework to document how sustainability can be communicated more effectively by addressing both technical and emotional dimensions coming from different stakeholders. And for future directions, I aim to develop more compartmentalized communication strategy to align the technical accuracy valued by industry with emotional resonance felt by the consumer. And maybe I'm a qualitative researcher, but quantitative validation of those discussions are also very important. So to expand the validity of these qualitative findings, a quantitative mix method is also a plan for the future. So that's it. If you have any question, I'm ready, or you can always contact me.